Hello everyone, welcome back to the Real Double Dose channel. This is your host Lex coming to you straight from the heart where the talk is real and the vibe is always live. Thank you for coming and listening and being on the show with us here today and every time you tune in, because here serving a slice of everyday life is what RDC always likes to serve up in our conversations when we do reconnect each week. For any questions, show requests, or anything under the sun you can think of, remember to get a hold of us at Real Double Dose channel at yandex.com. That's YANDEX.com, and as well as realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com. I just want to say we love you and you are amazing. So check us out always on the other channels. If you haven't seen the links, realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com. All the links will be provided, or at least 95% of the links will be provided at the Blogspot at the About Me section on the bottom, and links to our books as well as TuneIn, Stitcher Radio, Spreaker.com, Spotify, Blueberry.com, as well as Deezer, Podcast Addict, Google Cast, iTunes, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, and so much more. I'm probably, like I said before in my other previous episodes, we're missing about maybe 5 or 6 that don't get said or rotated around, but you still can find those at the SoundCloud page or the Blogspot. Also, just check out some wonderful things that are coming in the YouTube spotlight as well. So without further ado, I wanted to just say, let's get this 2020 really in a conversational role. So this show's episode is sponsored in loveliness by Renity Solutions, always here to help you drive forward, and as well as our famous and our always wonderful sponsors who are very supportive, GiveMeAllThat.com with swagged up fashion that'll save you cash. So thank you to those sponsors, and we'll be having some links too for 40% discounts and so much more to start your new year off right. And I also just wanted to say we're moving forward always. Now this is called hashtag the setup, right? Now it doesn't have to be exactly hashtag the setup, but or setting it up, but it's somewhere around that field. You'll see it, but it's a quicker one, but at the same time I wanted to put this out there just for food for thought real quick, like we do. But what has been hashtag, or say the setback setup? We could do that. Hashtag the setback setup. Now I've noticed, let me take a page from my book, I'm just saying, or a couple other people's as well, but I've noticed that within this first 2 weeks, yes, today would be a little over 2 weeks now, just maybe like barely 24 hours over 2 weeks, that things have been getting to me quite decadently. I mean, not only is my best friend and the love that I will always love for the rest of my life, yes, you, Mr. J.A., we've been, really deep connected, rooted friends for the last several years, but our friendship continues to bond and blossom, and it's the most beautiful it has ever been. And I'm just happy to have a great friend that helped me set up the best things in life back then, where the seed was planted and obviously it bloomed even throughout our different journeys we did until we landed on the same path again. But I will say, for that, hashtag the setback setup, yes, I'm glad we came up with that one. Thanks, Anthony. I had to give that spot out to him. Think about this. Besides the good things that happen, besides the things that are like, oh, cool, I have been hit with sickness, flu, ears plugged up, head plugged up, things happening left and right. But we keep going forward, right? And it's almost like our next person will say, man, like my brother, for instance, has his car in the shop. I mean, the first week of the new year. Now, it shouldn't make a difference if it's the 31st of December or 2020 now. But since it has such a big representation of the calendars changing us moving forward another 12 months, it does. No matter if we want to avoid it or not, it does. We can no longer go back to 2019 to live those days again, okay? And our memories, yes. But we can't go back physically, okay, that I know of, and live those days again. So I want to say hashtag the setback setup is, look at everything that's happening in our life. Look at every single thing that seems like it's just setting us up for failure. A lot of people want to get discouraged and say, oh my gosh, this is happening already. This is just January. I said that myself. This is happening already. It's just January. We haven't even made it the first week and I'm already on the bed, down and out, not doing any of my work for almost 2 weeks. And it was hard to function when your head is affected, especially when anything has to do with breathing or respiratory, all that crazy stuff. You're just constantly tired. You can't barely see and you can't really function at all. I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, you can't really, even if you want to, it's not like you have a headache and you can work through it. It's like literally you're shut down from your senses. But what I'm saying is, I looked at that like, this is the omen I wanted to put out there. Now, no matter what's going on for you, if anything happened in your life, whether it be condolences or so much more, or things happening, just remember, it's the setback that's helping you wind up to the setup that's about to unfold. We have to remember that every setback it's just a step forward in many different ways. It's a learning experience, a growth experience. It's a life experience that we need to propel forward with. I have never been more anxious and more hungry and more excited, still scared out of my wits, because I'm like, man, I got to make the best of the rest of my life. But at the same time, I'm still happy that I still have this first 2 weeks. At least it's not happening where I'm still twiddling my thumbs in my thoughts 4 months into 2020. And then it hits me later on. And I'm like, man, I'm halfway through. It's time for us to excel and make the best of our life and the rest of our life extraordinarily amazing. So no matter what setback you may see holding you back, no matter what many things you might say, man, I got all this stuff before me. Remember, you can only tackle one at a time. You can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you can do all of them and try to do them at the same time and completely mess them up. But remember, everything that we do and everything that is coming to us, whether we believe it's, Diablo trying to hunt us down or not, whether we believe it's our own selves doing it or not, remember, there's always a way out. And faith is the substance of things not seen but yet hoped for. The best scriptures in the Bible also said that. It is the understanding to understand that we have to have faith. And that's one thing I need to work on myself as Lex. When people say, oh, nothing can get you down, I need to make sure I keep focused on the things that I know will come to fruition. I have to make sure within those things that all of ourselves are believing it and living it and feeling it. I remember I was hearing something the other night, and I'll leave you with this, that really got me. And I remember when I was in California, I had the feeling of so many things I wanted. The feeling was so undeniably deep and real, you guys. I felt the energy pouring out of me. I felt the tears running out of my face when I sat on the side of that hotel bed, and I was picturing how it would be like if the journey to California would have worked out the way I thought it was going to be. That's about several weeks after the fact. I knew I was connected to some psychotic, whatever. So at the same time, friendship of craziness and life just exploded. But I felt it. I cried. I was weakened by my energy of this burning desire to make it through. And although the components came together to make it through, and thankfully I have my beautiful mother, and I still have my beautiful mother, and the creator of all things awesomely on my side, and for the fact that I was built in that way to be strong enough, I didn't know that I was putting those feelings and resonating them to the vision of what I wanted to happen. And all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, at the last moment before I decided to change my mind and head back up north, it happened. The phone call happened. And I still didn't believe it. But by the time I went there and met the lady and saw the beautiful mini mansion and the things she offered to come along with it and the pricing, I said, wow, this is amazing. But I had no idea to really look at, quote, the law of attraction, or quote, the feel it and believe it into, existence. I believe in faith, but my faith was more focused on knowing the creator was the creator and this was the world that was created for us. So now that I got a chance to understand that, referencing what I heard last night, one of the gentlemen was saying about how you focus on something that feels so good and you love. You focus that feeling into something you've experienced before, or a feeling that you want to experience so bad. It doesn't have to be something unrealistic or unbelievable. It has to be something that you already felt, or something that you can picture feeling decadently, in depth, down to the core of you, without any hiccups of, oh, well, what if this doesn't happen? Then as soon as when you get into that deepness of how that feeling is, merge over into the feeling of what you desire to be what is. Merge it in there and mingle it into that feeling. And I thought that was the best kind of incorporation you can. There's some ingredients if you make food that you can't add hot stuff into the eggs, or add eggs into the hot mix or something, because it'll cook the egg and not blend into the recipe itself. You have to fold it. Sometimes when you're making mousse or pudding or meringue, different ones, there's always a technique into things. That you can't just have a baby and shoot it right out. You can't just have a C-section and slice your stomach straight open, excuse me if it's too graphic, and yank the baby out. There's a process, there's layers to happen. There's things to happen. But remember, the process doesn't take forever. And the more that we take all this time in order to make these things come, because we're so afraid of them happening, but yet we're so upset to go day by day with the things that we know we're not doing, it's complete madness. So what I say is hashtag the setback setup is exactly what it is. It's setting us back to have a dose of real medicine so we can move forward to the setup that's already willing and ready to happen, for the things that we know are already ours, for the things that we have to let ourselves set back within in order to move forward without all the cliches and drama that comes along with it, until we allow and give ourselves permission to do so. every setback we have, we'll keep falling deeper into it if we become completely complacent and more terrified from the first one we initially went through. The only way that you completely disappear off the map from having your setback is if you are never trying to realize or break the discovery or push past the mold of the fact that it was a setback for the setup. And ultimately, you can make the rest of your life, like Eric Thomas says, the best of your life. I want to leave you with that. Just remember that. I just want to leave you this quick love just to get it going and flowing. I am getting better. Things are flowing. And I have a nice little segment, a little longer next time. We're going to get into a little bit of more diving here in a few days. But don't you worry. There are some wonderful interviews we have scheduled and also arranged as well. So remember to be the change, feel the passion, embrace the power of that wonderful spirit. We love you. You're amazing. Check us out. Reach out to us anytime you feel like it at Real Double Dose Channel at yandex.com, yandex.com. Check out that blog spot at realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com, the .coms and all that stuff. All the goodies are there. Don't forget, you're wonderful, you're blessed. We love you, and we'll be back with you very, very, very soon.